Hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to another wonderful class. Today in cybersecurity analysis course, we'll be discussing GUI and CLI. We're looking at what they are and their major differences. So basically, we've been talking about operating system and what an operating system is. We'll be looking at the essence of an operating system. So today we want to basically look at an integral part of it, that is the GUI, the interfaces. Both GUI and CLI are interfaces for operating system, and they are the interface between which the user will interact with the hardware component. So there are basically two interfaces that you can interact with. You can either interact with the GUI interface or you interact with the CLI interface. So let us even start it in the first place. What is GUI? So GUI is Graphical User Interface. From the word graphical, it's more like something illustrative, something you can easily interact with. It's used to create graphical elements. You can see graphical elements like icons, menus, and all of that. So it's just like if you probably used your laptop before. Once you put on your laptop, you see the start menu. Once you start, you can see so many other menus. So that's like the graphical user interface. There are menus, there are graphical elements, things you can easily relate with. You can click through and check what you want to check. You can search through. So it's very easy to use a GUI interface because you can easily see start menu, you can see Microsoft menu, you can see Excel menu, you can see menu for basically even your DJT course. If you have installed it on your website, you can on the laptop, you can see the menu. You can see the menu for Chrome, your browser, and all of that. So it's very easy to use, and you can easily create a file, menus, and all of that. So that is the graphical user interface. So the whole essence is to create a communication channel between the user and the hardware itself, the machine. Nevertheless, CLI is also very important and very popular too. CLI is command line interface. So I know you must have heard about it, but probably not used it or don't know what it's like. So command line interface is not using graphical interface elements. It's using text. So it's a text-based interface. What it does is it uses text commands to create communication channel between the user and the hardware. So that is how the command line interface is. It's using text. So the graphical user interface is using graphical elements. So that's the major difference. So with graphical user interface, basically you probably are used to it already. Operating systems can use it. You can use it through basic operating system, and there are differences between GUI and the CLI because GUI is known for consumer memory, and it's easier to navigate for users or people who have not probably used computers very well, and you can easily run through text, videos, images, and all of that. So in terms of spelling mistakes too, GUI is very good because it can help you with typing and spelling error and all of that. But CLI is in the cybersecurity world, or in security world in as a whole. CLI is mostly used because it's very fast. It has a bit of learning curve. You have to learn how to use it. You have to learn the basic commands that it uses. So for a beginner, it might not be easy to use, but once you start using it, you get used to it at the end of the day. So it's used as a text. You type and receive input through command prompts, and then CLI is used for operating systems, so like Linux, and then you can easily run through files easily. It is because it's text based, it's very fast. There's no slow memory, very fast. So the key differences between GUI and CLI is in terms of interaction for the user. It's easier for GUI than CLI, but once you get used to CLI, then why not? It becomes fun. So but in terms of interaction, you interact with graphic like images and icons when it comes to GUI, and when it comes to CLI, you just use basic commands, basic prompts and commands. For navigation, it's easy to navigate with GUI, but navigation is a little bit difficult with CLI. Whereas for precision, GUI is slower in precision, but CLI is having a high precision, very fast. Just type what you want and to bring out, press a command to bring out the result very fast. In terms of speed, GUI is known for low speed, while CLI is very high in speed. In terms of memory requirement, CLI is, let me start with GUI. GUI is having high memory requirement, but CLI has a low memory requirement. Well, in terms of flexibility, well, GUI is very flexible, has a very flexible interface. CLI doesn't have as flexible as the interface of GUI. Then in terms of customizable, obviously GUI is very customizable. You can rearrange your icons, rearrange your font and all of that, but CLI appearance is not easily changeable. But GUI normally handles type errors and correct them. CLI doesn't really handle your type errors and correct them. You have to be smart at it and be able to understand it very well. So when you, for pointing device, you use mouse, joystick, you can use your keyboard together with for the GUI. But CLI does not need any pointing device, just your keyboard is fine. Keyboard is fine. So this is the difference between the GUI and CLI. So why do you need it to as a cybersecurity analyst? As a cybersecurity analyst, you might be required to check for the reason the system is down. You might not have time to scroll through the icons, scroll all of these things. You just want to get down to the basics. So you type in your command, and you can easily create username with CLI easily, and create and remove username. All of those things are very easy because you don't need to start navigating. You can just press a simple basic command and it gives you an answer with high precision and very fast. So we need speed. We need to get our answers very fast. So that's why CLI is preferable for the security world than GUI. So I believe you've been able to understand this a little bit. And if you don't still understand it, just keep moving on. We'll still talk about this more in subsequent classes. All right. Thank you, and join me in the next class.